Get down!
Welcome back, Adrian here, reviewing Game of the Year 2015, or if you're PS4 owner, Game of the Year 2016, Rise of the Tomb Raider. So I didn't do a lot of game reviews last year. I believe the only two games I made a full review of were Ori and the Blind Forest and Yoshi's Woolly World, so 2 reviews is not a lot. I will be doing a lot more reviews this year though. Rise of the Tomb Raider was indeed my favorite game of the year 2015. It was one of my main incentives to pick up an Xbox One last year over a PS4, that and Halo 5 and Rare Replay, and a pretty good exclusive Xbox One lineup for 2016, but the media pretty much swept Rise of the Tomb Raider under the rug at every opportunity, and wasn't even nominated for the Game of the Year 2015. Why? Because a lot of people in the media hate the Xbox One, it seems, and won't give the console a fair chance. And look, I'm not pro Xbox, I just want to be fair. So, will Rise of the Tomb Raider be nominated next year? Quite honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. I can see all the PS4 fanboys waiting for this game to come to their platform holding giant signs where it says, "Welcome home, Tomb Raider," because Tomb Raider belongs on PlayStation, right? Despite the first game also appearing on Sega Saturn and PC, but I digress. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a direct follow-up to the 2013 reboot called nothing more than Tomb Raider. I'd never been a fan of the series before, but with the new Uncharted-esque approach of the reboot, it got me hooked right away. It really was on par with the Uncharted games in my opinion, which is a bold statement. But the sequel that we have here, I would say is even better than the Uncharted games. It emulates everything that makes Uncharted great, but adds so much more to it. It has the climbing from Uncharted, only smoother, and allows for more moves such as climbing up walls, using 2 pickaxes. The combat is also on par, but instead of finding random weapons on the ground, you have 4 personal weapons that you upgrade throughout the game, and the big distinguisher being the bow and arrow. The weapons are very well balanced. For example, you think you don't need the bow and arrow once you get the rifle, but while the rifle is quicker to fire, the bow and arrow has the best range of all the weapons, and it makes less noise, so it's perfect for stealth. Stealth is another thing that it does really well. In Uncharted there are specifically scripted stealth sections and action sections, but in Rise of the Tomb Raider you can choose your approach. In some very crowded areas you have to use stealth to avoid getting all the enemies at you at once. The game is semi-open world, so there are places where you can explore while other areas are more linear. It is a perfect mix, since games that are too open tend to lack the structure and over-the-top moments that a more linear game has, and if it's too linear, it breaks the principles of choice. Items you pick up actually have meaning to them, since they allow you to craft things and upgrade skills which further increase your ability to fight, hunt animals, and survive. There's simply so much more to it than the Uncharted games, and I'm a huge fan of those games too. Uncharted 4 is coming in May, scrap that April, and I'm certain it's going to be a fantastic game, but it definitely has some competition with Rise of the Tomb Raider. Graphically, it is one of the best games I've seen this generation, and it's quite a feat considering it's also available on Xbox 360, and that version looks pretty good too. The frame rate drops a bit during cutscenes, but otherwise during gameplay it's a very smooth experience in terms of frame rate. The facial animations and acting is some of the best, and there's truly a gripping story, which I won't spoil anything of at all. My major gripe with this game is that it's a little too similar to the last one, but that's the case for a lot of sequels, even with Uncharted, although it does change up a few things. Firstly, you don't only have 4 weapons anymore, you can switch them out with others. They can be earned in-game or be bought using microtransactions. Yep, you heard me, but honestly, it really doesn't take anything away from the experience. They're very discreet with it, and I never came to the point where I felt the need to buy any upgrades, because you get so much by just playing. But time is money, and some people like spending money, I guess. Even though there never is any grinding either, it's very fair and next to no incentive to spend any extra money at all. I haven't. You do unlock a lot of new abilities later on that weren't in the first game, and overall it's just a much longer and more epic experience than the first one. The multiplayer is gone in favor of a more well-crafted single player, and it definitely pays off, so no negative there. Overall, Rise of the Tomb Raider is a must-have. You can easily get into it even if you haven't played the first one. The first one meaning the reboot from 2013. If you like adventure games with a perfect mix of linear and open world gameplay, then this is for you. Really, anyone who enjoys action games should get this. It's excellent. It'll come to PC later this month and eventually on everyone's favorite system, the PS quadrupleization. Anyways, this has been Adrian. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I didn't offend anyone too much, because in the end, it's just video games and nothing should really be taken seriously. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. I have a lot more videos coming. And, oh yes, I started asking people to subscribe. I always thought that was a self-explanatory thing, but apparently it's not. Also, if you follow me on Twitter at Adrian_Passion, you'll get my take on gaming news a lot faster on YouTube. And, well, this has been Rise of the Tomb Raider reviewed on Xbox One.